Hello guys, welcome to WunderTrading channel. In this video we wanted to show you two things. Number one is how to create a strategy script using AI bot, and the second one is if you are the trader who is managing its risk properly, you need to make sure how to pass the custom quantity from your TradingView script. And by the way, before we begin, don't forget to subscribe and like this video so we know that you like this content and we're gonna carry on producing it. So let's get into it. Okay guys, let's start. In order to do that, first we need to create the simple strategy, and we're going to use the ChatGPT AI to do that. It's based on our left hand side on the screen. On the right we have the TradingView price chart of the Sol USDT on a 1 minute time frame. So let's ask our ChatGPT to create a simple strategy. Create a strategy script for the SMA crossover. The long condition will be when the fast SMA is crossing over the slow SMA, and the reverse is true for the short condition. Okay, I also want to be able to change the inputs in my strategy, not going inside of the code. So what I'm going to ask ChatGPT to do is to create inputs for the slow SMA equals to 21 and fast SMA equals to 9. Okay, so let's see what the result of that would be. So it's going to be building the strategy script using the strategy version v6, okay, which is good, which is the latest one that TradingView currently has. It created the inputs as we requested, which is also quite good. The long and short conditions are determined by the crossovers and cross unders. Now we're going to copy and paste it into the Pine editor and add it to the chart. Okay, now we see the backtest result of that, and we can see the entries and exits. So far so good. Let us now determine the stop loss positions for this strategy. So first, actually, what I want to do is to make sure that the plotting is working correctly. So what I'm going to ask ChatGPT to do is to add the lines for the slow and fast SMAs. So add the plots of the fast and slow SMAs on the chart. So I want to visually analyze and understand if the Pine script is working in accordance with the logic that I asked ChatGPT to do. So let's see that at the end, yes, it will be creating the plot functions. Okay, so let's copy and paste it over here. Right, now we can visually see the fast SMA, which is the blue line, and the slow SMA, which is the red one. Okay, that is actually quite good. Let us now determine the stop loss, and for that we're gonna use the ATR. This is a very standard way of determining the stop loss based on the volatility. So let us write something like this. Now add an ATR band indicator. The lower band will be the stop loss for the long position, and the upper band will be the stop loss for the short position. visually represent the stop loss lines if the trade is active. Also add visually the ATR bands on the chart as well. Okay, so let's see if ChatGPT will be able to add the stop loss based on the ATR. Okay, now it's just trying to define what we already explained to him, just to summarize our prompt. Okay, straight away we can see even at this time that it is adding the ATR input and the multiplier also in the input functions, which means that we will be able to change and adjust them in the input section of the code. So basically over here, and if you have to adjust the strategy, you wouldn't have to go inside of the code to do that. Okay, so let's copy and paste the script and update it on the chart. Right, we do have an error here, undeclared identifier on the plot. Basically, let's have a look of how the plot function should look like. And there is a problem with the style. So in style, you can see that what are the possible values in the documentation of that function in particular. And it looks like the ChatGPT just didn't use the correct value in the style. So what we can do is we can just copy this one to make it as a line and then replace it with within the style parameter. Okay, let's update it on the chart once again. Okay, we do have the extra comma, which is not needed here. Oh, it's exactly the same here. So once again, we just replace the style and take away the comma and update it on the chart. Okay, so now we have it. Right, so the purple line here basically shows that this is going to be the stop loss, and it's gonna trail it up to that point. Okay, so we have a visual representation of that. But at the same time, I don't want it to trail, I want it to remember the stop loss value. So let's change the prompt slightly. What we're gonna say is, I want you to remember the price value when the condition is triggered, and I want you to remember the price value of the stop loss parameter when the condition is triggered. If the price reach the stop loss level either for the long or short conditions, then exit the trade. Okay, and what I also want to tell him that use this style and plot line so we won't have to deal with the errors that occurred. Change the style to this one. Okay, so let's see what the result of that would be. So now it creates a variable for the stop loss price, which is not defined until the condition is going to be triggered. And we're going to change it to the solid line in terms of the representation of our stop loss, which is also quite good. So let's see. Yeah, so over here, for example, when the long condition is triggered, it's going to enter and replace the variable stop loss with our lower ATR band, which is going to be our price for the stop loss. Okay, let's see if it also changed the line style. Yeah, it did. So, okay, let's try and copy and paste it one more time over here, and I'm gonna update it on the chart. Right, that's much better. Okay, let's see if the stop loss is actually working. So we need to see when it's gonna reach it, if it executes it or not. Here we have it. Here we have an exit. So basically, we entered over here. The script remembered the price of the ATR band, and as soon as we reach it, we have our close function over here. Right. So let's carry on. In order to clearly see that what would be the stop loss and the take profit in order to determine the amount, what I also want to add is to put a take profit target. So let me ask ChatGPT to do exactly that. So add a take profit target for the long and short conditions, which will be twice as higher than the stop loss. Also, make sure that the long position will exit only if the take profit or stop loss targets will be reached, and ignore the short condition if the long strategy is open. The same is true for the short condition. Okay, let's see. So basically what I asked ChatGPT to do is to create the take profit targets, which will be twice larger in comparison to the stop loss, which means I'm trying to do the risk reward ratio of 2 to 1. And at the same time, I don't want to switch between the long and short conditions. So I want to keep the position open until it reaches either the take profit target or the stop loss target. Okay, so now it's going to change the inputs over here. You can see that the code is getting larger and larger because we're adding more and more conditions to it. And but that's a very typical procedure, and it's quite interesting to see how ChatGPT will actually cope with it. So, okay, let's see it over here. It's finishing plotting the active stop loss and active take profits. Okay, so we can now copy and paste it over here and update it on the chart. Okay, so what we can see right now, it's actually quite interesting. Stop loss hit, okay. Stop loss hit. Yeah, we can see that now it's actually keeping the stop loss and take profit fixed at the moment of the entry. Let's see if it actually obeys the rule of 2 to 1 in terms of the risk reward. So the approximate amount of the stop was 0.26 and the take profit was around 52. Yeah, so it actually does keep this risk to reward ratio, which is quite nice and important. Okay, and the last thing would be is that in order to determine the correct amount to entry, I want to tell ChatGPT that you should not risk more than 1% of my capital in each trade. So based on the distance from the entry price to the stop loss, the script should determine what is the amount I have to invest. Okay, so to actually do that, we first need to tell ChatGPT to add the capital to the script. So now let's assume that I have 1000 USDT as a capital, put this as an input in the script, calculate the amount per trade that I will have to enter with if I want to risk only 1% of my capital per trade. Okay, so let's see if ChatGPT would be able to do that, because we're trying to add this risk management function and dynamic position sizing, which is quite important for the long-term trading. So over here, it starts to input the capital amount as an inflow and the input also of the risk percent in particular. And then the rest would be almost the same. You can see that it added the block with the position sizing calculation. So it will determine based on the position that you do not risk more than 1% of your capital, which is also quite good. And then we can also see this in the position size. And it passes this quantity into the strategy entry, which is the most important thing here. So it's saying that every time that we're going to enter, you're going to look at this variable in order to understand what is the quantity that you're passing. So let's copy and paste it and update the chart. Okay, so we have an error here. Value with an A type can be assigned to a variable that was defined without type keyword. Okay. So basically just saying that you need to create a variable. But let's see how ChatGPT is going to handle this one. It's actually quite a good example. So if ChatGPT can handle such issues, let's copy this error and just state to ChatGPT, you have an error on line 29. This is the error. Please adjust the code. Okay, let's see if ChatGPT can handle this and would be able to actually rewrite the script in such a way that it will be working correctly. Okay, yeah, so it understands that it should write a variable before the stop loss distance parameter, and this will fix the problem. Okay, the script is now completed, so let's copy and paste it and see how it handled the issue. Can compare value to an N directly, use the NA function instead. Okay, another problem on another line, so let's see if ChatGPT can handle this one. Okay, and it's exactly the same for line 47 and 39. Error on line 37 and line, which one was that? 47 and 39. So 39 and line 47. Please adjust the script. Okay, and let's wait. Okay, looks like it's ready. Let's try it one more time. Now everything worked correctly. So let's have a look and let's check what is the amount that TradingView is currently passing. So first of all, let's check that the amount is different all the time. And that is quite important. Okay, so 22 here, 19. We have 6 here. Okay, that makes sense because the stop loss is Yeah, the stop loss was quite far away from here. Okay, 5. So we can see that it is actually adjusting the value with which we are entering all the time, so which is good. Okay, so let's just do a general calculations now. We can see that the entry should be around 22.6 coins, and the stop loss percentage is going to be around 0.22%. Okay, so let's just open the calculator here very quickly. And it's going to be much easier in that way, so I can show you that it's actually doing the correct work. So first thing first is that we have a capital of 1,000 and the 1% of that is $10. Right. Now we can see that the entry price was around 199.9, and if we multiply that 199.9, multiply that by the number of coins that the script suggested to purchase us, which is 22.657, we can see that the dollar value is going to be 4,529. And if the stop loss is going to be hit, so we can see that the stop loss of 0.22%, so if it's going to be hit 0.22%, we're going to lose 9.96. So it works correctly. Okay, so now we're coming to our final step. Now the strategy is ready. It's nice and working. So we want to make sure that we can pass the volume, the amount that we're trading with, all the time when the entry order is triggered, either for a short or a long position. So let's see how to do that. First thing you will need is you need to go to the WunderTrading account and create a new signal bot. Filling the general information, so let's put it as a test strategy. I'm using my demo account, which is the typical one that I would encourage you to use when you're just trying and testing something out. We need to select the API, and the pair is Sol USDT. Okay. Now the time frame that we're working on is 1 minute. You can put this over here as well for your convenience. However, this time frame is not relevant in any way in terms of the time frame that you're using on TradingView. So don't be nervous if you have selected something differently here. In the entries, we're gonna start the condition from the TradingView alert, and we're gonna use the form settings. We would like to execute the trade as soon as the alert comes in, so we're gonna do the market entry. And now we have to switch to the custom quantity. We're not going to put any take profits or stop losses because our strategy already accounts for that. So to be honest, that's all you need to do in the form. So let's create a signal bot. In the second step, you need to set up the alerts from your TradingView. So let's go back to the TradingView. Let's open the Pine editor in full. The first thing we'll need to do is to adjust the Pine script code and pass the relative comments in entry and exit functions. So let's see where it starts here. First of all, we have our strategy entry long, and we're gonna input the comment here, which is our enter long comment. So just copy the comment from the WunderTrading bot, paste it in here. The next one is going to be the entry short condition. So find the line which is entering the short condition, and we're going to do exactly the same. Put the comment equals to enter short condition. Because we do have the take profit and stop loss features in the script that we created, we also have the dedicated values where we should put our exit parameters. So when the strategy position is greater than 0, which means that you are in a long position, we want to exit this whether either a stop loss or a take profit is going to be hit. So we're going to input the exit long in both stop loss and take profit conditions. Okay. Just need to make sure that the quotes are around your comments, so it will be passed as a string. And exactly the same for the short positions. So the exit short comment, and we put it over here. Okay, so when we finished with the comments, just update the script on the chart. As soon as the script is going to be updated, you can see that once the conditions are triggered, you can see the comment that will be passed together with the volume of your trade. Okay, so we don't need the code anymore. So now the final part which is left is create the actual alert. So go to the alert window, select the condition which will be your strategy. In the message box, you need to copy the alert message entry. So we just copy it from your WunderTrading bot and paste it over here. The first line of this message is going to pass the comment that we just input in the Pine script itself. So it's going to be either enter long, enter short, or exit short. And it will be put there automatically depending on the status of your strategy. The second line is actually passing the value which the indicator is calculating. So it's going to be any kind of a numeric value. And the third line is actually determining what is this value associated with. Is it in number of dollars, or is it in number of coins that you're purchasing, or is it a percentage? So to better understand what are the amount per trade types that exist, you can go to our help center and you can see it straight away here that when you are creating the alert, you can select different options. The option depends on whether you're trading with a single pair or multiple pairs within the same bot. In our case, we're trading with one trading pair, and as dedicated by our script, we're passing the number of coins, and we're working with a futures market. So basically, we would want this parameter as our third line here. Okay. Now what we need to do is we definitely need to check that the webhook is set correctly. So in your bot settings, you can clearly see the webhook. Just copy and paste it. And that's pretty much it. You can now create the alert. As soon as the alert will be created, it will appear on the right-hand side in your alerts log. And now you have to just wait for the signal to come in. At the current state of our bot, we can see that it's already in the position and it's going to be waiting for either take profit to be reached or the stop loss to be triggered. As soon as it will reach the target, it will send an alert saying that this is the exit for the long strategy that we're currently in. And the bot will ignore it because currently your bot is not in the position. It's waiting for the position entry. So let's wait and see what's going to happen. Okay, so we see that the alert was triggered. There was a notification at the bottom over here. We can also see the entry alert in particular was just recently triggered in the alert log. So let's go to WunderTrading and check if the position is currently open. So we're going to see, yeah, that there is a new position. Okay, it's long. Solana USDT, which is exactly what we're expecting. And we're passing 7.93 in terms of the contracts. And this is exactly the number that we're passing from TradingView. And we can see if you open the strategy, you can see the amount basically in dollars for which you entered And this is correct if you multiply the number of contracts by the current price. And now you can see that the stop loss based on our strategy and based on volatility is going to be over here, which is around 0.63%. And the script will be waiting for either the take profit target or the stop loss target to be reached. When it is reached, the new alert will be triggered for the exit, and this position will be automatically closed. So that's it for today. Thank you very much, guys, for watching and staying with us. If you like the content, subscribe and hit the like button. If you want more of this content to be produced, just write some comments and suggest the topic on which you would like us to make a review. Thank you very much for watching. Best of luck with your trading.